Hi everyone, it's me Alexa Land here, and I want to tell everyone about how using an hallucinogenic plant called ayahuasca enabled the lover to possess me and to train me. Okay, so yesterday, for the first time ever, I used the shamanic herb or compound known as ayahuasca, which is an hallucinogenic plant and herb. And it was a very scary but interesting experience. While I was under the spell or the power of the hallucinogenic plant ayahuasca, I chanted out and I called out to the names of the lower, to the names of dead family members and pets, and to the names of the spiritual beings of the Goetia. And while it was a scary experience, it wasn't a negative experience, because these spiritual beings, some of them are very powerful and very territorial and aggressive, and yes, and while they possessed me, I learned a great deal of knowledge and information, and while they were training me, and they did not want to let me go until I learned from until I learned their lessons, or until I completely understood and valued what they were teaching me. And what they were teaching me was, I'm going to tell you some of, while I was hallucinating and on what they call a trip, and while I was being possessed by the lower and under the influence of ayahuasca and hallucinations, the most powerful beings which I came across as I passed through the as I entered through the gateway and passed through, was Papa Legba, Ogoon, or Ogoon, Belial, and Leviathan. At one point, spiritually, I was possessed by a cat spirit. So my behaviour and my voice, my behaviour and sounds turned to the behavioural patterns and sound patterns that cats make and that cats have. At one point, I started talking in indigenous tribal languages and doing tribal war dances. And especially when I called upon Ogwe and Ishu, and when their spirits took over me, and when they entered me, I felt like I was a river. I felt like I was channeling water and wind and storm energy into me. So I know what these beings were trying to teach me. While I was invoking and being possessed by these spirits, one of them I believe one of them was trying to make me see things from Princess's perspective, and one of them was making me see things the way Princess, my cat, would see things, and one of them was turning me into a cat. So while my body was still human, I wasn't human, I was a cat. I started meowing and clawing and purring and moving around like a cat. And one of them was a dragon spirit or a serpent spirit, which I was growling and hissing and snarling and one time I felt like I was lifting the doorway up and raising it upwards by the power of my own hands alone. One of the spirits another spirit was attached to the ceiling, and it's like a reptilian. This one was a reptilian type one, and what it was doing, it was looking down at me from the ceiling. And then Papa Legba possessed me once and came through to me, and I felt like a very fatherly, I felt like a parent, and I felt a great deal of responsibility and love and affection. Another one was when I came under possession by Azuli, which means I felt like this complete femininity and female energy. I felt overcome and washed in feminine energies and female energies and forces. As the trip and the hallucination and the experience in itself was completely scary and was completely scary and frightening for me. The fear for me was a very small part of it, and was only a minor. But I feel what I experienced was a necessity, was important. What I experienced spiritually during that time was to benefit me and was to improve me and my life and was meaningful. I had to go through the fear, and I had to go through these tests that the lower and the spirits and the ancient gods were giving me. In order to learn from them and to understand them and appreciate their power and their meaning. And while frightening and while it shook me up, while it shook the very core of me and my very foundations, it strengthened my beliefs and my faith. And since after that experience, I definitely know what the lower and the ancient gods want me to do. I definitely understand now what they were trying to teach me. So this is how the experience scared me, shook me up, and enriched me. And the spiritual beings which possessed me, there was a war while I went through the gateway. There was a war going on between my negative aspect, between my negative thoughts and feelings and memories and personality problems and emotional problems, and the ancient gods and the lower. And the lower and the spirits were fighting this war against these the negativity, emotionally and psychologically, that was going on inside me. And they were fending off and fighting off the negativity and the badness in me. And they were battling. And of course they did win. All anger, jealousy and fear and sorrow and sadness and loneliness and isolation has just been vanished and washed from me and blocked from me and totally wiped out and defeated. So from my experience, ayahuasca is the key to the gateway and the key to the world of the lower and the ancient gods. When you're using ayahuasca, it enables you to become the passenger of your own body, and it allows the spirits and the lower to take control of you and to possess you for your own and benefit you. And it allows you so basically, using ayahuasca increases and strengthens the possibility of possession and the chance of spiritual possession. And it strengthens and brings you closer to the lower and the spirits. It bonds you and links you directly and physically to the world of the lower. It allows you to get in touch with Papa Legba and to cross the gateway and to cross into the spiritual world. And it allows you to totally leave your body involuntarily for a short amount of time. And that's what I experienced, and that's how it helped me. That's what my experience last night has done for me and shown me. And I hope that it can do the same for you, but I made the mistake of using it alone, because I wasn't used to it. But since then, I've become wiser and stronger. And these experiences, these spiritual beings, and with the help of ayahuasca, can make you stronger and can heal you and help you and give you wisdom as well. Thank you for watching.